All right, so we've been talking about sadness and sadness and sadness and sadness and longing and sadness. So while I'm still sad, there's this feeling here that's like almost as though it's almost like acid reflux, but it's not. It's like the memory of acid reflux, or it feels raw here, like in my throat. But it's just around here. It's not like, I'm just trying to feel where it is. Yeah, it's like here to like up here. So that's my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th chakra. Makes sense. Your voice, your power. That's feeling raw and vomitoso. Very like it's thrown up. I feel like my 3rd chakra has thrown up repeatedly and has like a scratchy, but you know what it is? It's like that. It's that feeling after you've thrown up where your throat's just like, it's not the taste, but it's just that feeling of like, oh, there was acid there. Like, anyway, that's what that's feeling is. And that's accompanying the sadness, right? It's a rawness. But the other feelings I'm feeling, one of them is I keep going over like one or two things that I wish I'd said. You know, like at one point he said, when we were talking about, when we were talking about, towards the end when we were hanging out, but we were broken up and whatever, he said, well, look, Jenna, look at all we do together is sit around and watch TV. And I looked at him and I was like, if we had a future to plan together, like if you think this is what we would be doing if we had a future to plan together, you're wrong. And he said that twice to me at one point, and I really wish that I had said, and I'm just gonna say it out loud because this is what I keep going on over in my head, I really wish I had said, like, if we had a future to plan together, we would own 2 multifamilies by now, you would have your bookkeeping business, and we'd be traveling around the world because we could work wherever we want, is what I wish I'd said to him. And I'm going over in my head, like, oh, it wouldn't have made a difference. It would not have made a difference. But I kind of wish he knew that. Like, I wish I had said that. I wish that had been in his head. And the other thing that I wish was, this one hurts. We used to do, like, spa night. Like, the first time we did it, he was just like, okay, whatever. Like, I mean, like, honestly, he would look at me sometimes and be like, I feel like you're my daughter. Like, can we play this, like, so we would, we had like a steam, like a big bowl of steam, and we put some essential oil in and then put our head over for like 15 minutes, open up the pores, you know what I mean? And then I would put a mask, like a mask on myself, and I would do him too. And his skin looked so good after the first time that I did that. And anyway, after that, he was like, want to have a spa night? Oh, come on. Anyway, one of the last nights that we had together, it was like late, and I was like, oh, spa night. And he's like, oh, we could still do one. And I was like, no, I'm tired. And he's like, yeah, okay. I really wish I'd done it. I really wish we had that last spa night together. But it's not what happened. It's not what happened. There's no going back and changing it. It wouldn't have changed anything. I just would have liked to have that moment. At least we had the time together. I'm so sad and so disappointed. But the other thing I am is kind of angry. Not at him. I'm angry at the mother. And it's completely illogically, I'm angry at the wife. The wife. Like, I saw the album and she'd written something like, you know, I'm yours forever or something like that. And I just, like, honestly, what came to my head was like, fuck you, bitch. Which is not nice and not something I like to admit to. She has no idea. And hopefully she's a really sweet, wonderful person. He broke up with her to be with me originally, after he was forced to get engaged to her by his parents the first time. You know, and he didn't want to lose me, so he broke up with her and spent several months looking for things that he didn't like about her, so he could tell his parents, like, I don't like this about her. I don't like to justify to them breaking up with her. And now he's married to her. Married. They're married. He's married. And he's happy. But I'm angry. Like, this part of me that's... But when I'm communicating with the universe, I was communicating with the universe today, I'm praying, and she makes me feel better when I do that, so I'm gonna go do that some more. I'll probably cry some more. But I'm gonna let myself, this is the thing, like, I keep thinking myself, I'm like, oh, she doesn't know that's, you know, I mean, like, obviously she doesn't know, it's not her fault. At all. But there's part of me that's mad at her. Like, a big part. Not a big part, but you know, she waited around for 4 years. I don't know, the whole thing is kind of gross to me, to be honest with you. Like, the whole thing is a little disgusting, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, I get it, it's their culture. But you get to decide who your son can and can't marry? Because you're living with her for the rest of your life? Oh no, you're gonna die in a year or two? And then he has to live with her for the rest of his life. Now, I'm not saying that he's unhappy. I'm just saying the fact that the mother gets to dictate it is fucking ridiculous. And it's so wrong. But he is who he is because of her. And I would not change a thing about him. If he weren't the type of person to do what he's done, which is to put her first, and only her well-being, it wasn't even her feelings, it was the fact that he thought he was going to kill her. Or that she would never talk to him again and die before making up. That's what did it. The only thing that could have kept us apart. His fear that, you know, like, that he would kill his mom. And his sister thought it was possible, so whatever. Gotta get over it. He's over it. He's over it. He is. He's been over it for a while. I'm sure he loves me. I'm sure in whatever way. Anyway, I'm tired. I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm grateful that I can just feel my feelings. Just let them be what they are. Feel them. Allow them to go through me. They don't feel good. I don't like them. But I'm working on liking them more. I'm working on enjoying feeling the depth of range of the human emotion and the human experience. I keep thinking to myself, like, okay, I want, you know, one thing that my friend Robin is telling me, and she's right, is that, like, the part of me that feels like he did love me, and I know that the part of me that feels like what was so special about our relationship is now diminished by the fact that he's married by someone else. You know, just the fact that he would feel less for me. And he does, right? I mean, like, you can't not. He's married. you know. But I mean, it's just saying the part of me that feels that way. Like I've got to love that part of me as ferociously and as tenderly as he loved me. And I just don't see how I can do that. Like, he loved me a lot. He paid a lot of... I don't pay that much attention to me. I pay a lot of attention to me, but I don't pay the attention that he... That's what I want in a relationship. Someone to pay a lot of attention to me. But I mean, he was so in tune. Whatever. The point is that she's telling me that I need to love myself the way he loved me. And this, you know what I mean? Like, he loved me. Like, really, unconditionally. Like, unconditionally loved me. Unconditionally. And so sweetly, and so devoted, and so kind, and so tender, and so wonderful. And the only thing that could have kept us apart is his mother potentially dying or never speaking to him again. She's a vindictive person whose love is unconditional, whose love is conditional. How does someone that wonderful come from a woman like that? Just amazing that he came from his family. Like, between the two of his parents, like, I don't know how he got to be. The mother was such a vindictive person that at one point when the daughters were still living at home, she and one of the daughters got in a fight, and she didn't talk to the daughter for 2 years, living in the same home. Okay? So we know that this woman would stop talking to him and never start again. We do know that. And her health wasn't good, and she very well could have taken a heart attack. So, it was never going to happen. It was never going to happen. Given reality, it was never going to happen. It just... You know what, though? Like, this anger, and I don't want that to be a part of the feelings I had for him. I don't want that to be anywhere near. Any place near where, like, the love and the feelings of our relationship. I don't want that near it. Because it might taint it. And I don't want it to be tainted. It's beautiful. It's beautiful the way it was, and it's beautiful the way it ended, and it's beautiful the way it started, and it was beautiful all the way through. And I don't want any negative, like, gross feelings to be associated with it at all. I don't want them touching it. So I'm going to work. I am working on being as understanding as possible. And as gracious as possible. And I can only do that with the help of the universe. So I'm going to do some more praying. I will say that. It's funny. So anyway, the point is I don't know how I'm going to love myself the way he loved me, because he loved me a lot. And I don't love myself that much. And this is the part that he's here to teach me, right? One of the things, one of the many, many, many things that he is here in this relationship, even the ending of this relationship, that's how beautiful this fucking relationship is. Even in its ending, it teaches me and gives me things and gives me love and gives me so much. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for that relationship. Even if it had to end, and it did. It had to end to be what it was. It had to be what it was. It had to end to be what it was. And it had to end to teach both of us what we needed to learn. I miss him. And I'm sad about him. Sorry. Back to loving myself. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. Like, loving myself as much as he loved me like a lot. Like, I don't see how I'm gonna do that. I feel like it's wrong. I feel like it's gross to love myself that much. Like, I'm thinking about it, and it's like, he knew me better than I knew me. He paid more attention to my reactions and the way things worked in my mind than I do. And he loved it all. He found me fascinating. He really found me so fascinating. And I find myself interesting. Let's just be honest. I do find myself interesting. But to love myself to that point, for some reason, it feels gross and wrong. I don't know. Like, I'm not supposed to love myself that much. That's someone else's job. Like, that's supposed to be someone else that loves me that way. I'm not supposed to love me that way, because that's what is that? Wrong. It's just wrong in my mind. I don't know. I gotta work on that. So these are all things that are good for me to realize, and I'm feeling kind of angry. But not, I'm just angry. Feeling. I don't know, guys. I'm grateful for the relationship. I'm grateful for whatever this is going to teach me. However I grow, I'm going to use this for spiritual growth. I have to go through this, and I do. I'm going to use it for my spiritual growth, which means I really, really am going to get back into this the way I was last summer and the summer before, for a long time. Journaling every day, praying twice a day, being in touch with the universe, all of that. That's the only way I'm going to get back to, I'm not going to learn what I need to learn. So I'm going to feel, that's the only way I'm going to get back to feeling that way, where I can look at this in gratitude and say, at least it's, I'm going to use this for emotional growth. If this has to happen, then I'm going to use it for emotional growth. Because I can say that right now, but I don't feel it. And I want to feel it again. So at least I know that. And I'm grateful for a lot of those things, right? I'm grateful for the relationship. I'm grateful for the feeling of wanting to feel more gratitude. I'm grateful for the power of will I'm going to have to do the praying and the journaling. I'm a little afraid to journal, to be honest with you, because I know that I want to talk about him and I don't want to face it. But that's the shit that you gotta face, right? Okay, I'm feeling angry. Not at him, not at her, not even at the mother, just angry in general. That I can't have it. It's like a child. Can't have it. I'm pissed. Anyway. There is stuff to be grateful for, and I am grateful for it. So, I'm gonna go sayonara and remind you all that even though you might not feel like it, you gotta work at it, but you can always choose to have a grateful night.